Yo solo quiero pegar.
Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world. Radio TV con Rosario Sueida, transmitiendo desde Boston, Massachusetts. Entrevistas, reportajes, información, temas de actualidad y mucha música. Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos a un programa más. Soy Rosario y te saludo, te doy la bienvenida. Gracias por hacerme el favor de acompañar. Bueno, pues hoy, como siempre, traemos invitados a tu programa con temas de interés general como música, diversión y muchas cosas más. Recuerda que estamos en todas las redes sociales como Somos tu Mundo y en las mañanas estamos como Levántate Ya, un programa que te recuerda la importancia de levantarte con positivismo. Así que, qué mejor haciéndolo con música a través del programa Levántate Ya. Lo puedes escuchar en TuneIn como WKKL o en el 90.7 de la FM WKKL en West Barnstable, en Massachusetts. Y bueno, vamos a comenzar su programa. ¿Qué le parece si le presentamos a esta persona que yo admiro? Bueno, pues estamos hablando de una amiga querida, porque tenemos muchos años que compartimos micrófonos, vamos a decirlo así, porque ella trabajamos mucho tiempo en la misma radiodifusora. Ahora ella está en otra y además de ser locutora, es medium. Estamos hablando de Susan Ahearn. Pues vámonos con la entrevista que nos hizo favor de dar a Somos tu Mundo. Welcome.
Thank you very much. This is so much fun.
Of course it is. Susan is a medium.
Correct.
It's well known as the happy medium.
Right.
She has a radio show. In which station?
It's Frank 93.5. It's Cape Cod's Frank FM. So it's wonderful. On Friday mornings.
Friday mornings. How far is the range that the station goes?
Oh, gosh. We have 3 separate towers. So it kind of reaches over to the islands. And, yeah, so it is pretty good. But mostly it's...
So Fridays at what time again? In the morning?
Friday from 7:30 to 9, you can hear me on the radio, and then you get to call in, and I do private readings.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, and they're free, so you get to call in and get just a little tidbit, and you get to ask one question, and sometimes spirit comes through, or loved ones will come through and leave little messages. So it's nice.
It's very interesting to mention because I want to ask you so many questions because, you know, I'm intrigued to know all about mediumship. But you was always a medium since you was a child, since you was born?
So how it first started as I was always able to see dead people or see spirit. I was always able to see spirit. And they were my transparent people. They were see-through. And then there were the solid people like you and I. And so I've always had them, and they've always come to me as a child. And people would say, wasn't that scary? Isn't that a scary, situation? And it really wasn't. They're very comforting. There's nothing, it's someone's grandmother, or it's somebody's aunt, or a past relative. And so they were never scary like you would see on Hollywood or, something like that. That's not what I see, and that's not reality. And then I started to use my other aspects that I have. There's clairaudient and clairsentient. There's the ability to smell.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of things, and I was able to, through the experiences that I've had 4 near-death experiences where I've died and come back.
Then what happened there? Explain me, please.
Oh, it's that amazing. Okay, so the first experience was when I was about 7, and neighborhood friends who were climbing up over a stockade fence, and I kept getting pushed down, and they'd climb up because I was the littlest, and my hood got stuck on the fence, and I hung myself, and I got stuck backwards, and I was trying to push and kick my way off the fence, and I just wasn't strong enough to be able to unhook my hood.
Of course.
And so that was when I realized that I could use telepathy my mom was in the house. She was washing the dishes by the sink, but I happened to be behind the garage, and she couldn't see me.
See you.
And so at that point, I just remember saying, "Mom, come get me. Mom, come behind the garage. Come behind the garage." And I fought for a while, and then everything went black, and I couldn't fight any longer. And I just remember just surrendering to the moment that was happening. And it was a beautiful, peaceful. I mean, I wasn't fearful about the situation. It just was kind of a surrendering. And then I woke up, and as my mom would say, I was the worst color purple you could have ever imagined. And at that moment, she kept saying, "I don't know why I came back here. I don't know why I came behind the garage." That was more fretful for her, to say there's something drew me. And then I went, "Oh, this really works. This is pretty cool." And so that was one moment in time. And so when I came back from that moment, I think I was a little more in tune. I died during childbirth, giving childbirth to my youngest. And that was a beautiful experience. That I got to the other side, and you see the light. So I followed the light and got to the other side, and that was quite a story.
Bueno, pues tuvimos la oportunidad de asistir al certamen de belleza de LULAC, así que vamos a presentarle cómo fue. Como cada año se llevó a cabo el certamen Señorita LULAC, una actividad altruista organizada por más de 20 años por la señora Regla González. El evento se realizó en Dedham, Massachusetts, donde se reunieron importantes figuras de raíces latinas del mundo empresarial y político, así como exganadoras del certamen. Durante el evento hubo muestras culturales de grupos folclóricos y organizaciones encabezadas por latinoamericanos. El gobernador Charlie Baker mandó un mensaje especial para la comunidad presente en el evento.
As everybody there knows, LULAC has been a terrific organization representing the interests of the Latino community and the Hispanic community here in the Commonwealth of Mass and across the United States for decades. And I do want to give a special shout out to my friend Regla for all the great work that you've done to run this organization.
Michael Vázquez, representante del Gobierno de Asuntos para la Comunidad, otorgó un reconocimiento para LULAC por sus 90 años de servicio, representando los intereses de la comunidad latina en Massachusetts y en todo el país.
This governor's citation in recognition of your 90th anniversary and your status as the largest, oldest, and most successful Hispanic civil rights service organization in the United States and the island of Puerto Rico. The Commonwealth also commends LULAC's comprehensive set of nationwide programs fostering educational attainment, job training, housing, scholarships, citizenship, and voter registration. This 26th day of April in the year 2019. Governor Charles D. Baker, Lieutenant Governor Karen E. Polito.
Compitieron por la corona candidatas de diferentes orígenes latinos, el cual fue ganado por Jackie, de origen salvadoreño, quien representará a Massachusetts en la Convención Nacional, donde competirá y tendrá la oportunidad de conocer a diferentes representantes políticos y podrá en un futuro recibir una beca de LULAC. ¡Felicidades, Jackie! Welcome back to Somos tu Mundo. We are your world. Today we have a special guest on the studio, Susan Ahearn.
That was quite a story. That's actually a long story. We won't go there.
Well, next time are you able to continue? But oh my God, I imagine many people says that I've been reading and I will check in many places that it's consistent. Everybody says the same thing.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, maybe it was the morphine, maybe it was that. You're like, no, there was that experience. Like if you were to hook me up to a lie detector, it was real. And so I was given the opportunity to come back, and with that, I was given the opportunity to look at my past, my present, and my future all at the same time. And in that moment, I realized I need to get back. Like, I need to be back on Earth. So I came back, slammed into my body, and it's like falling, I'd say probably falling from a plane onto glass. Everything in your body hurts once you activate back, once you
feelings.
become alive. It's just amazing how painful it is. And I just realized that from that moment that I needed to be here, that my presence on this planet is really important, and I had to be there. Now, I don't remember what I saw, but I know that that's all I remember is that, Susan, you got to be here. So then I had 2 other episodes. I don't really know why I was dying so much and coming back, other than every time I did come back, I came back with another gift, another
ability.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
So 4 times?
4
It
times.
was after that experience.
Yeah. And I've been hit by lightning twice.
Wow.
I know, crazy, huh? So you may not want to move your chair.
No, Bede, what we need to do is go with you, because too many chances or too many precise things. We can go together to buy a lottery ticket.
I love that.
Hopefully, let's see.
Perfect.
Let's take that abilities to some extent and became rich. Why not?
Why not?
So, what are the questions that the majority of the people ask you?
Most people want to know about love. They want to know, am I going to find it? What's going to happen? And the best answer is that people really don't know what they want.
It's true.
They know they want love, but there's a lot of other aspects around love that are very important. And you really have to figure that out. So I like to send people home when I do my private readings. They come and they get homework. Go do your homework and then come back and let's see. Because we can manifest what we need.
Correct.
And if we don't know what we're manifesting, or we don't know that it's possible, and or that we deserve it, and a lot of it's the deserving part. Sorry, Mike. That we need to deserve it, and then we can receive it. Because if you don't know what to ask for, you won't get it. And so that's what I like to work on. And so when I have my classes, it's teaching people how to ask for what they really want. And
Where
know that
did
they
you give
deserve
your
it.
classes?
So we just started in a beautiful studio. It's Karma Foods and Wellness Studio in Brewster, right on Main Street. And the space is beautiful.
Oh my God.
The food that they cook, this beautiful organic food on one side, and the studio space is just lovely. They have yoga, but they also have different classes that are a must.
Which days are you there?
I kind of randomly. You'd have to look on my webpage to see, when I'm there. But
And where is your web page called?
It's CC Happy Medium, so it's CapeCodHappyMedium.com, and you can find me there and find out what's happening, what's the latest stuff out that
And
I'm
where
doing.
it's coming.
Yeah, yeah, and you can always find me every Friday on the Frank Morning Show. I kind of let everybody know how to reach me, or if you're looking for a private class, or or a private reading and stuff like that.
Bueno, pues vamos ahora a presentarle música.
Oh, yeah. Oh, through the passage of time, I'm trying with the clothesline. It seems like the people them not love me design. It makes me wonder if me should done resign and look a job down on the front line. Forget the dream that I have in mind. Live my life one day at a time. Find me a girl who really don't mind if we drive a hoopty with the wheels out of line. We reminisce on the past, chilling on me recline, incline in time. I said to keep on doing what you're doing, Johnny. You might end up over there with a Grammy. You might end up with your pocket full of money. You're gonna be alright. I said to keep on doing what you're doing, Flimo. You might end up over there in a limo. You might have them girl feeding you jello. You're gonna be alright. I tried this washing down at the steakhouse. I tried bartending down at the brew house. I tried some painting, but that was just a tryout. I did mechanic, but that didn't work out. I love entertainment, but it not pure. But no give up, there must be a way out. I said to keep on doing what you're doing, Johnny. You might end up over there with a Grammy. You might end up with your pocket full of money. You're gonna be alright. I said to keep on doing what you're doing, Flimo. You might end up over there in a limo. You might have them girl feeding you jello. You're gonna be alright. You're gonna be alright. Girl, Perseverance with the right attitude that will make you do anything you want to do. And clean up the rot from out of your heart. Let some positive thoughts be your reward. To accomplish, you have to analyze this. Ignorance, my friend, just don't make it know. It all look is love. I said to keep on doing what you're doing, Johnny. You might end up over there with a Grammy. You might end up with your pocket full of money. You're gonna be alright. Hey, hey. Keep on doing what you're doing, Flemo. You might end up over there in a limo. You might have them girl feeding your jello. You're gonna be alright. Hey, hey, hey. Keep on doing what you're doing, Johnny. It's not all about fame and the money. Living the passion of your dream because you love it. You're gonna be alright. Oh, oh, keep on doing what you're doing, Flemo. It's not all about riding in a limo. Setting an example for the world to follow. You're gonna be alright. Passage of time, I'm trying with the clothesline. It seems like the people them not love me design. It makes me wonder if me should and resign and look a job down on the front line. Forget the dream that I have in mind. Live my life one day at a time. Find me a girl who really don't mind if we drive her up the way the wheels out the line. We reminisce on the past, chilling and me recline, me recline, me recline, me recline, me recline, incline.
So that is the bear's hibernation den right there. So I only had to pull it halfway out.
What's a carnivore ecologist?
A carnivore ecologist is a scientist who studies meat-eating animals and how they interact with their environment.
That's really cool.
Carnivores can also be in the water, like sharks and some types of
Whales?
Whales, exactly.
What's the coolest part of your work?
Well, the coolest thing I do is go to the field. I love to be out in nature, and sometimes we even get to climb into the trees, like I'm doing here, all the way up into the canopy, because the canopy of the trees has a whole different ecosystem.
What advice will you give to other young girls like me that want to do science?
Always believe in your passion more than your performance. Even if you get a bad grade in science, it doesn't mean you're not meant to be a scientist.
Why is it important for girls like me to be in STEM?
Scientists are trying to answer questions that can even save the planet. And the only way we can get the right answers to those questions is if we have everybody working on them. We need people from all kinds of backgrounds, from all different parts of the world, and especially from all different identities to be a part of figuring out all of the scientific questions that still need to be answered. She can STEM, so can you. Learn more at She Can STEM.
And as far as connecting with the people from the other side, how does it work?
It's kind of amazing. I think sometimes people always think that everybody's just waiting around. They have an agenda. On the other side, there's an agenda, and they're doing their thing. They've spent, their time here on Earth. Some people, when they pass, choose to give back to society and want to help. And others are just like, I've lived a long life, I've struggled a while, I'm gonna rest for a little bit. And then, so it really is a good thing, for them to kind of rest and do their thing. And other people are here to, I'm gonna help, my niece or my nephew. It's kind of my way of paying back to the family. And so they're not always hanging around, but like if you and I were to have a session and you wanted to connect with somebody, we would just put out, we want to connect with Aunt such and such, and I would call, and if they want to come forward, they can. You really can reach anyone. It's kind of amazing. Really, which I thought was very cool, is I also do table tipping. It's kind of skipping around.
What is that?
Table tipping is using a blessed table, a sacred table. Mine happens to be Victorian, old Victorian. I love that. So it's an old Victorian table, and spirit comes to the table and moves in this beautiful, joyous way, it taps out messages for you, for individuals that are there, and they're very specific, and you know it's
what it means.
Yes, you know what it means. You can feel
like
your
tick 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 for
it taps through the alphabet, and it
Okay.
communicates that way. But you can sense it. Sometimes you can smell, that's my aunt's perfume, or that's my mother's saying, or you can just tell that they're there.
This is what you do in that,
That's what I do. Yeah.
And that is a place in Brewster.
Yes. So
Okay.
I can talk to your relative, and you just have to trust that it's me, and that they're there. But this way, you get to experience it and you get to feel it yourself.
And find out that is the
And
real,
you'll
the real
know,
person.
you
Okay.
know the feeling. You're like, everybody's like, it's always just spot on. But I've also channeled saints. Saint Lucy has come to the table. And whom else? Saint Agnes had come to the table as well. And so we get all these saints and wonderful spirits that are very, very cool. That is very special. And it's healing.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
How
please.
bad I am?
Oh.
How about a bad person I am myself? I want to know the truth.
Oh, you're wonderful.
No, I'm not. You're nice. You're nice to me. Come on. Tell the
We've known
truth.
each other for a while now. We're going back almost 8 years or so, more than that, I
More
think.
than
yeah.
that, and the radio
I
center.
don't wanna
We've been
count
together
it.
in the
Yeah, that's
and
fun.
the yearly. You used to be also in the same radio station that I am now, but you progress. I continue there.
Oh, I don't know. It's a hard. It's
a
very
hard-
hard, but
to
yeah,
get to us. But
yeah.
I'm glad that you continue in touch. Bueno, pues vamos ahora a presentarle música. Regresamos ya.
So when I was younger, I remember having a lump in my breast, and I didn't tell my mom for a year. And she was so angry with me because we just never had that conversation, so I didn't think it was a big deal. It was just a cyst, and I got it removed. I had a scar, and I was like, wow, that is so crazy. Like, I'm 14 years old, and I have a scar in my breast, and I had to be more aware of my body from that moment on. A couple years after my scare, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer, and it made us closer. She's very, strict about going to get your checkups, and because of that unfortunate situation, it's allowed my mother and I to still be open, and it's okay. It's not, taboo, and it's not uncomfortable, because it's our lives on the line. Go to knowyourgirls.org to take charge of your breast health.
My name is Chris Hills. I'm the host of Recovery Radio, which is on 90.7 WKKL here on Cape Cod. We're a radio show of recovery, people recovering from alcohol and drugs. We have many guests on our show expressing their experience, their strength, and their hope for themselves and for other addicts that are entering the recovery community. And we want to let people know that there's a big community out there that's ready to welcome you if you need the type of help that recovery gives you. All we're trying to do is be a conduit to get you to the place that you might need. We're not professionals, or we do have therapists and we do have other people on the show, but there's many forms of recovery out there, and we're just trying to get the message out to all those that are there. So join us, please. 90.7 WKKL, Sunday nights, 6 to 7 o'clock.
Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world. Radio TV con Rosario Sueida, transmitiendo desde Boston, Massachusetts. Entrevistas, reportajes, información, temas de actualidad y mucha música. Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world.
Welcome back to Somos tu Mundo. We have a special guest on the studio, Susan Ahearn. So, I don't know what to ask.
Yeah. Do you want me to read Serenity and See?
I want to know. Tell me the truth. Nothing but the truth. I don't want to get offended.
So you do have a very strong feminine spirit behind you. She is in human form, so that means that she's not. Angels and higher beings will come in as light form. So she's in solid form, so I would lead to believe that that's an ancestor. Mm-hmm. And she's very interesting, firm but loving. And so I wouldn't say she was very warm, like not a very warm, huggy person, but you knew she loved you. And this is how she projects herself. And I don't know if you knew her or knew her when you were a little girl. Mm-hmm. I don't think that you may not have known her longer. So let me ask. Yeah, she's confirming that you knew, or she knew of you when you were little. She's chosen to come and kind of guide you, mm-hmm. and give you that strength. You haven't had it easy. Mm-hmm. So she's saying that you have not had it easy, and so she's being guiding you, helping you, and supporting you that way. Very loving and very sweet. And so I'm horrible with names, mm-hmm. even on a good day on this level. So I don't get names most of the time, but I'll get essence and feeling and emotion, and that's the aspect that I get. Mm-hmm. She had dark hair. Interesting. And she's showing me pictures of a place that either she lived or loved. I'm trying to define. She's in a room, a space. This is a space that she's showing me. It's hard to get exactly what she's saying, but off camera we'll be able to get it a little deeper.
But it's okay. Good. Thank you so much. No. Bueno, vámonos al siguiente segmento. Regresamos ya.
So we're grouping these like lists of users together, grouping another users together, and kind of giving a different access to our trading systems.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What is something about engineering that people don't expect?
Engineering is actually a very social and collaborative field. People think that we're behind the computers and then coding away. We're actually working together with a bunch of smart people, designing, solving problems together to connect people all across the world to trade with each other.
How do I know if I can be an engineer? Would there be signs?
Do you like solving problems?
Yes.
That's it. You ultimately have a known problem in your hand and you're trying to solve them by digging through different parts, and that's what engineering is.
Oh, okay.
Get it?
Yeah. I can use binary code and see that I have a 1 at the end, or I have a 1 1 at the end, which means I can video chat and I can text. What is your dream job? Or this is your dream job?
This job is my dream job because it's really exercising your creativity and innovation skills, and you get to create something out of scratch and then make something happen.
I can use a chart, or I can use a graph to figure out if I have permission to do things.
Yes. She can STEM, so can you. Learn more at She Can STEM.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, but anything that you want to recommend, to tell to how to get hold of you again? Where is the place that you make the readings and how they can get hold of you again? Your website, your phone number, or the program that you again, please.
Sure. So you can find me every Friday morning on Frank FM. Call up, and people get kind of nervous, so you don't have to tell me your name. You can just kind of say,
next time
make a name.
I make another accent.
I would say, what's your dancer name? Make a dancer name.
Yes. Thank you for encouraging me.
And then just ask your question, and that you can reach, and that way then it gives you a little taste, or at least you get to listen. And even though you feel like it's just one question, someone else could be experiencing the same thing you are. Everybody wants to know. And so you can also find me at cchappymedium.com. You can find the events there. You can also go to Karma Wellness, Karma Food and Wellness Center in Brewster, and or Facebook. I am Happy Medium, all one word, capital H, capital M, and there you can just like that, and you can go see everything. I post everything all the time.
Thank you very much,
You're
Susan,
welcome.
to be with us. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure
This is
to
such
see
a
you
blessing.
again. No, it was a blessing to have you here in the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. Stay tuned. Y bueno, ha sido un placer que me hagas el favor de acompañar. Como siempre, te agradezco tu gentil audiencia. Y bueno, también te recuerdo que estamos en las redes sociales como Somos tu Mundo. Así que danos like. Y te agradecemos que siempre nos hagas el favor de acompañar en este tu programa. Bueno, pues les deseamos que tengan un día lleno de luz. Hasta la próxima.
Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world. Radio TV con Rosario Sueida, transmitiendo desde Boston, Massachusetts. Entrevistas, reportajes, información, temas de actualidad y mucha música. Somos tu mundo, somos teu mundo. We are your world.